Okay, so I'm back. Finally, another video above the bar. So I want to talk about intermittent fasting today. So it's been really hard getting down to a weight that I want to be at, like 235, 230. Right now I'm at 245. I've done intermittent fasting before I had cancer, and it was pretty easy. Stop eating at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Don't eat again till noon. The next day, you have 2.5 meals. The key is to eat smart. Don't just stuff your face between 12 and 7 with cookies and all sorts of other crap, because you kind of defeat the purpose by jacking your insulin. So you want to eat like a lot of protein, some vegetables, some fruits. People who say don't eat vegetables and don't eat fruits, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it's going to jack your insulin and you're going to gain weight because of it. But it's different. It's simple sugars and fruit, and they break down a whole hell of a lot faster. Also, mix in some more cardio. Hopefully it stops snowing and the weather gets a little better. And like 2 walks a day, probably 2.5 miles, try to get to 8,000 to 10,000 steps. That's huge, because that was the other thing I did when I was fasting, and I got down to 230, and I felt great, I looked great. And the reason I'm saying this is mostly for the dads out there. A couple weeks ago, my son went to a jump zone. They jump in the bouncy things and all that and have a great time. But I was looking around, and it was a mob scene. And I just looked at all the dads, and we are not doing our families or our children any justice by being completely out of shape and eating like crap. That was the whole reason I started working out hardcore during COVID, because I looked at a picture of myself on Facebook, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I do not look good at all. And I didn't feel good either the more and more I looked at it. So that's why I started working out. Now, I got cancer, yes. But who knows? That could have been from years of eating crappy food, environmental. I was a firefighter for 7 years, and type of cancer I had is also linked to firefighting foam, which I did have exposure to. Not at any calls, but on the training ground. So that's a whole other issue. So there's a lot of things out there where it could have been. But anyways, so I think dads out there, we really need to think about our families and get in really good shape. Whether it's just walking, you can just walk and not eat like garbage. I think I also look back to many years of just what I ate and why I ate or what I drank. And I swear to God, the marketing machine of Madison Avenue just convinces us things are great. Dunkin' Donuts. Listen, food at Dunkin' Donuts tastes like crap. Let's face it. It's not good. Other than a bagel and cream cheese, that's about the only thing they can't screw up. Alcohol. All these fancy commercials on the Super Bowl. Budweiser, Coors Light, whatever. Yeah, beer's great. I like having a beer or two now. But I don't have 10 anymore. It's just, first of all, you feel like shit the next day. And for me, it's the next 2 days. So don't give into this marketing thing about, oh, this food looks great, that looks great, it's so delicious. No, eat whole foods. Have eggs in the morning. I have 4 eggs every morning. But now it's going to be every early afternoon. Meat. Everyone says, oh, ground beef is terrible, red meat is terrible, it sits in your gut. Well, does it? It's packed with more nutrients than just about any other food out there. It's fantastic. But again, you don't eat it 7 days a week. You can eat other lean meats like buffalo. Ground buffalo is great. Make a burger out of that on the grill. It's phenomenal. Put a little seasoning on it. Things like that. Also, salads. If you want to lose weight, make yourself a monster salad every day in one of your 2 meals. Put some chicken on it. And that also does wonders. It cuts down the calorie count, but you're satiated, you feel full. So again, fathers, especially with young children, another tip for you guys, which I fell victim to for many years. I would never leave their plates empty. Can't waste food, might as well eat their food. When my kids were young, I think I jacked up to about 250 pounds one time. It was ridiculous. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's not really that smart. So I stopped doing that. We have to take care of ourselves, because we need to be here when we're 80 years old, because it sucks to be dead at 55 or 60 of a heart attack. And we all might die of a heart attack someday or cancer someday. It might get us, whatever. But let's try to avoid that at all costs and take care of ourselves in the future. I think that's huge. And the best thing about intermittent fasting, you can eat whatever you want. You can still have a couple pieces of pizza for lunch. Just don't do it to excess and you'll feel good. And the other hack that I use in the morning, real quick, instead of eating, I have black coffee. I do drink a ton of water in the morning too, but black coffee seems to feel like breakfast. So I have a couple cups of that, one caffeinated, one decaf, so I don't go crazy with the caffeine, because when you have an empty stomach and you start drinking a lot of caffeine, you are going to get very edgy. At least I do. So anyway, but that's my rant for today. Had a good workout today. I took about 8 days off. Had a cold and I was exhausted. So I actually deadlifted today and I had a great workout. Didn't overdo it, but made the deadlift the priority lift and it went well. And I'll try to put that in this video or another video or a short. Also, going to be on YouTube. I have a YouTube site. I'll leave that in the link above on Facebook, so you guys can all follow me. That would be great. I'm going to put a lot of shorts on there. It seems to be the best place to put things like that. They get the most views and comments, and Facebook and Instagram really aren't that great. But yeah, that's it. Hey, have a great weekend, and we'll talk.